Okay, so let's talk about some physical or chemical properties of phenylamine, right? Phenylamine, right? And what is phenylamine? Phenylamine is when you have a benzene ring, and on this benzene ring we have NH2, right? This is what phenylamine, right? And this is a primary amine, and we also know that if you talk about basicity of this, so this is less basic than ammonia, right? So if you talk about their reactivity, so you need to keep remember that phenylamine is almost similar to the phenols, right? If you talk about phenols, so the reactivity of phenol and phenylamines are almost similar. If you talk about phenol, there's a phenol and this is phenylamine. So the chemical reactivity of phenylamine and phenol are almost similar. They are almost similar because if you talk about their ring, so their ring is electronegative by receiving lone pairs from the nitrogen, and in phenol they are from oxygen, right? So here we have lone pair of oxygen, so the benzene ring is actually having these electrons delocalized into the ring. And same as it is in phenylamine, over here we have a lone pair on nitrogen, so this lone pair is actually delocalized into the ring. So in both of the cases, the lone pair on nitrogen and oxygen, they both are delocalized into the ring. That is why the ring is actually electronegative. The ring is electronegative in both phenol and phenylamine. So that is why they react same, or their behavior will be almost similar. The only difference is this, that phenol is actually acidic. We already talked about this. And this is phenylamine is basic, that we talked about in the last class, all right? And the reaction is pretty similar, right? If we talk about like phenol, if you remember that in phenol we were talking about this as phenol for suppose, and if you are reacting it with bromine aqueous, we know that all the possible places on phenol can be filled with bromine. So if over here on the second position and the fourth position, all the positions that are possible over there, you will find bromine to be attached. All right, so the same as it is over here will be happen if you have phenylamine. This is for suppose phenylamine, and if you are reacting it with bromine aqueous, so you will see this, but so that all the possible places, and we know that what are the possible places? The possible places are actually 2 and 4. So this is 2 and 4. All the possible places will have bromine on them, right? And they will have 3 HBr as well. So the H that are releasing from the benzene ring, it will be attached with the remaining Br of the bromine, right, bacho? And same as it is in the previous one, it is producing white precipitates. This one, this compound is white precipitates. Same as it is over here as well, we have white precipitates of this compound, right, bacho?
Yes, sir.
And same as it is for bromine as well and for chlorine as well. So if you talk about chlorine, so the reaction over here will be same for chlorine as well. For suppose agar aapke paas phenylamine hai and you are reacting this phenylamine with chlorine, aqueous chlorine, so you will see that okay, all the positions on the benzene ring will have chlorine over there, like on both the second and fourth positions. Chlorine will be attached over there and 3 HCl will be formed, and also this compound will have white precipitates, right, every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Any problem to any one of you? All clear? Yes, Ahad, Hamza, Rabel, all clear bete?
Yes, जी sir.
चलें,
सर बस एक सेकंड कॉपी करें,
लिख लें आप लोग। और ये हो गया आपके पास, you can call this reaction as a bromination of phenylamine. This is bromination. This is one of the chemical property, and this is what? Chlorination. This is the second chemical property for phenylamine, right? And now we are moving towards the third chemical property, which is actually, if you talk about amines as nucleophiles, right? If you talk about amines as nucleophiles, let's see how they can act as a nucleophile. And this is actually a very previous reaction, or you can say that this is one of the past reaction that you study in O levels as well, when you were talking about macromolecules, and over there we were talking about polyamide linkages, right? So if you remember, over there we were having a monomer having NH2 on both sides, and a monomer having carboxylic acid on both sides. When they react, they will form amide linkage. So the same as that is over here as well. The amine is actually going to react with acyl chloride, and it will form amide linkage, right? So let's see what is this reaction. This is actually nucleophile. What is nucleophile? Nucleophile is actually a substance or an species, and any species that have lone pair. And when they have lone pair, so they can attack on the one which is deficient of electrons, right? So this is nucleophile because nitrogen has a lone pair, right? So amine is actually nucleophile. If you talk about amine, तो phenylamine हो, चाहे primary amine, methylamine हो, dimethylamine हो, trimethylamine हो, whatever, until and unless one nitrogen के पास lone pair है, so it will be nucleophile. It can attack on any species to donate their lone pair and form covalent bond or dative covalent bond over there, right? So let's see what is going to happen over here. So you just need to keep remember this reaction is actually about acyl chlorides plus amines. When acyl chloride reacts with amines, they will form what, bacho? They will form amide plus HCl. Amide plus HCl, and that is the same thing that we talk about in O levels. Over here, it will be considerable, right? So this is for suppose any acyl chloride, C double bond O along with Cl, or any carbon chain, right? So this will be acyl chloride, and this is any amine. For suppose you have N along with one of the carbon chain, right? And this is having a lone pair and two hydrogens, right? So you can even have one hydrogen over there as well, right? So this is acyl chloride, right? And this is amine, right? When they combine together, just need to keep remember like esterification. If you remember the last esterification that we talk about over there, what was going to be happening? You need to keep remember acyl chloride providing its chlorine, right? And the alcohol was having O over there ना, हम वहां से alcohol का O ले रहे थे esterification में, या acyl chloride का आप Cl ले सकते हैं. इसी तरह अगर आपको याद हो तो आप कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड का O आप OH ले सकते हो और अल्कोहल का H ले सकते हो. तो यहाँ पर भी सेम सीन है कि आपके पास एसाइल क्लोराइड अपना क्लोराइड देगा और आपके पास जो अमाइन है वो अपना H प्रोवाइड करेगा. व्हेन दीज टू रिमूव, ये दोनों मिलकर क्या बना लेंगे बच्चों? HCl, right? And the remaining part will be joined. So you can see this part which is R C double bond O, and this part which is like this, nitrogen and hydrogen with a carbon chain. They will just combine together to form amide linkage. So it's obvious over here कि ये आपके पास एसाइल क्लोराइड का फंक्शनल ग्रुप है, ये आपके पास अमाइन का फंक्शनल ग्रुप है, and now this is actually amide linkage. This is amide linkage. ठीक है बच्चों? Is that clear, every one of you?
Yes, sir.
This is amide linkage. Okay, so you can have one of the example of this, right? For suppose you have acyl chloride with 3 carbons, right? So this is 1, 2, 3. This is acyl chloride you have with 3 carbons, and for suppose you have amine with 2 carbons, right? So this will be amine, right? Okay, so it's your task to complete amide over here. Just draw the amide. Just try to draw the amide that can be formed by these two reactants. Just try. तो बच्चों ये जो आपने स्ट्रक्चर बनाया बिल्कुल सही बनाया है. अब इसका नाम देख लेते हैं कि इसका नाम कैसे रखा जाएगा. इस स्ट्रक्चर का नाम क्या होगा? लेट्स सी. So ये स्ट्रक्चर आपके पास, I told you that hydrogen from amines and chlorine from acyl chloride will be removed, and then the remaining structure will be combined. So 1, 2, 3 carbons, and then it is attached with the nitrogen like this, and 1 and 2 carbons like this. So this will be the structure of amide plus HCl, right? So then if you are writing the name of this compound, so keep remember this, but once you are writing the name of this, so how can you write the name of this, right? इस कंपाउंड का नाम आप कैसे रखोगे? कैसे रखोगे इस कंपाउंड का नाम? You need to write the name in this way. Just keep remember the number of carbon with amine. The number of carbons with amine should be right first. पहले ये पहले लिखे जाएंगे, ठीक है ना? So we have 2 carbons. So this is eth. 2 carbon को क्या बोलते हैं हम? Eth. Right, and it should be attached with YL because we are considering this as branch, right? So this is ethyl. Then the number of carbon with acyl will be next, right? So these are 3 carbons, so this will be prop. This is prop, right? So we can write this propane amide. So this will be the name of this compound. So you can say that this is ethyl propane amide, right? So the number of carbon that are attached with amine, they are considered as the branch. So you need to write ethyl first, 2 carbons पहले हमने लिख लिए, eth और il, and then जो बाद वाले जो आपके पास कार्बन जो हमने पहले ड्रॉ किए हैं एसाइल क्लोराइड वाले जो थे, उसको आपने क्या लिखना है? एमाइड के साथ लिखना है. तो it will be propane amide, right? बिल्कुल ऐसी है जैसे आप लोग एस्ट्रा का नाम रखते हो, बिल्कुल सेम ऐसी ही ये इसका भी नाम है, ठीक है? चले इससे एक और चीज मुझे याद आ गई, और वही चीज ये है कि फॉर सपोज मैंने आपको नाम दिया और फिर मैंने आपसे पूछा बताएं इसका स्ट्रक्चर बना के दिखाएं. तो इट इज ब्यूटाइल, फॉर सपोज ब्यूटाइल इथेन एमाइड. तो जरा जल्दी से मुझे ये बना के दिखाएं कि इसका स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होगा, और दूसरा ये कि इसमें कौन कौन से रिएक्टेंट्स यूज होंगे वो आपने बताने. जरा जल्दी से इसको करके दिखाएं. नेक्स्ट वाली जो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी है उसके अंदर ये एक्चुअली एक तरह की चेन है, ये एक तरह की आपके पास सीरीज है जो एक पेपर में कंटिन्यूअसली पूछी जाती है कि इफ यू हैव फिनाइल अमाइन, इफ यू हैव फिनाइल अमाइन, तो उस फिनाइल अमाइन से आप कैसे फिनोल में जा सकते हो? फिनाइल अमाइन टू फिनोल. This is very important to remember, right? So if you want to convert phenyl amines into phenol, so what is the pattern? What is the chemical reaction that we need to proceed? So keep remember, bacho, if you have phenyl amine, this is phenyl amine, right? And we need to convert this one into phenol. This is phenol. So if you want to make this, so we have one central substance that we need to make it, and this is actually diazonium salt. We should make diazonium salt first. We need to make this. This is diazonium salt. हमें इसको बनाना पड़ेगा. जब हम ये बना लेंगे तो ये खुद ब खुद ही कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा किसके अंदर? फिनोल के अंदर. So actually it is 2-step process. If you want to convert phenylamines into phenols, so it is a 2-step process. So phenylamine को first of all हमने convert करना पड़ेगा. ये पहला reaction ये होगा. We need to convert this into diazonium salt. We need to make diazonium salt first, then this diazonium salt will be converted into phenol. So this is 2-step process. In the first step we need to make it diazonium salt. और वो कैसे बनेगा देखें. first step में आप phenylamine को diazonium salt बनाओगे, और उसको बनाने के लिए you need to use nitrous acid. You need to use nitrous acid. You need to use dilute nitrous acid. dilute nitrous acid and dilute hydrochloric acid, right? So initially we need to use dilute nitrous acid. Once we use this, so this nitrous acid will convert phenylamine into diazonium salt, right? So it will be N2Cl negative, right? It should be positive and it should be negative, right? So ये बन जाएगा आपके पास diazonium salt, and for this you should have a condition of at least a 5 degrees Celsius temperature. It's just showing you that the conditions are cold over there in this reaction. For suppose if you don't have nitrous acid होता है आपके पास HNO2. This is HNO2, right? And it should be dilute HNO2 at 5 degrees Celsius temperature, right? And if you have, for suppose if you don't have HNO2, so how can we have this? For this, you need to have sodium nitrite, right? And when you react it with dilute hydrochloric acid, so it will form what? HNO2, right? क्या बना लेगा बच्चों ये? HNO2 बना लेगा. So जब HNO2 बनेगा, so you can use this. So for suppose अगर आपके पास नहीं है, तो आप alternate के तौर पर ये reactant भी use कर सकते हो. तो इन दोनों में से आप जो भी लिखोगे एग्जाम में एक्सेप्टेबल होगा, ठीक है? और दूसरी चीज क्या बनेगी इसके अंदर? It will be HNO2 and NaCl, right? So हमारे काम का क्या होगा? HNO2, तो वो HNO2 क्या होगा आपके पास बन जाएगा, और उसके बाद फिर वो आपके पास अटैक कर देगा फिनाइल अमाइन, उससे साथ कनेक्ट होकर डायजोनियम सॉल्ट बना लेगा, ठीक है बच्चों? ये डायजोनियम सॉल्ट जो होता है एक्चुअली, ये अगर आप इसको देखना चाहें कुछ इस तरह से होता है. आपके पास डायजोनियम सॉल्ट को और करके मैं बना देता हूँ. इट विल बी लाइक दिस कि आपके पास एक तो बेंजीन रिंग होता है. इस बेंजीन रिंग के साथ नाइट्रोजन का ट्रिपल बॉन्ड बन जाता है. अब जब नाइट्रोजन का ऑलरेडी ट्रिपल बॉन्ड बन गया है, तो ये नाइट्रोजन का एक एक्स्ट्रा इस पे पॉजिटिव चार्ज आता है, और ये पॉजिटिव चार्ज होता है ये क्लोराइड नेगेटिव से मिलकर बैलेंस होता है, तो ये डायजोनियम सॉल्ट बनता है, ठीक है ना? अब ये डायजोनियम सॉल्ट थोड़ा सा अनस्टेबल है, तो ये फौरन से ही इजीली कन्वर्ट हो सकता है किसके अंदर? फिनोल के अंदर. सो वो हम कैसे करेंगे? उसको हमें करने के लिए सेकंड स्टेप में हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? इस डायजोनियम सॉल्ट को, इस डायजोनियम सॉल्ट जो हमारे पास N2Cl है, तो इसको अगर हम पानी में डाल दें, और पानी में डालने के बाद हम इसको थोड़ा सा हीट कर दें, और वो थोड़ा सा हीट आपने कितना करना है? हीट अप टू ऑलमोस्ट 60 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर. so you will see that कि ये फिनोल में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. This will be converted into phenol then, right? So this is actually the process that you need to keep remember कि अगर आपके पास फिनाइलमाइन है और आप फिनाइलमाइन को कन्वर्ट करना चाहते हो किसके अंदर? फिनोल के अंदर. So you need to go through the diazonium salt. और diazonium salt कैसे बनेगा? You need to react it with HNO2 in cold conditions, and then whatever you have, which is diazonium salt, you need to make it like you need to heat it along with the water, so you will see that the phenol will be formed, right, every one of you?
Yes, sir.
So actually, if you see over here, so we actually completed this cycle. If we talk about I just want to have a skill test from you. So we actually completed this cycle, and this cycle is your skill test. Now, for suppose if we have benzene ring, this is a simple benzene ring, right? We know that this benzene ring can be converted into nitrobenzene. We know that we can convert this into nitrobenzene, and then this nitrobenzene can be converted by a reduction process into phenylamine. We can reduce this and can be converted into phenylamine. Once the phenylamine is formed, we can convert this phenylamine into diazonium salt. We can convert this into diazonium salt. And once the diazonium salt is formed, we can convert this into phenol. We can convert this into a phenol, right? And once you have phenol, you can make what? You can make ester with that as well. And if you want to form ester, So you can react with phenol with what बच्चों? अगर हमें एस्टर बनाना है तो हम किसके साथ कर सकते हैं? एसाइल क्लोराइड के साथ आप इसका रिएक्शन करा सकते हैं, तो you will have what? एस्टर then. So for suppose अगर मैं एसाइल क्लोराइड से इसका रिएक्शन कराऊं तो मेरे पास कुछ इस तरह का एस्टर बन सकता है, like this. So this is now a long cycle of the reaction, right? So just complete this, all the reagents, you need to write the reagents and conditions over there, and let's see if you can do this or not. Just complete this cycle quickly.